It's time for Medford Rogues Baseball as the Rogues take on the best of the West in the Great West League. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen to every Medford Rogues game all season long, live on MedfordRogues.com. Now, it's time for Medford Rogues Baseball. Calling all the action tonight, here's Jonathan Kerman.
Welcome, everybody, to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com. I am Jonathan Kerman. This broadcast is brought to you by our friends at Evergreen Home Loans, Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Brian Schnee will be calling innings 4, 5, and 6. I'll be with you for the first and last 3 innings of tonight's game between the Medford Rogues and the Yuba City Bears. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Now, normally I'm the one on the field with Coach Hogan, but today we're switching roles. Brian Schnee had a conversation with Josh Hogan today. What's going on, guys?
Thanks, Jonathan. I'm here with Coach Hogan, and obviously you get a great win last night. Let's harp on that for just a second. You had a great performance from your left-hander. What did you like out of last night's performance as a team?
As a team, we just put a complete game together. Kind of finally. It's been 4 games. We were averaging about 11 free bases in those 4 games we lost. Yesterday we had about 6. We tried to get under 5, but those free bases were spread out, so it didn't really come to hurt us too bad. Jordan Reagan obviously came in huge for us and stepped up. We definitely were low on the bullpen last night, and we will be for this this whole series. So him to go pretty much a complete game was huge for us in the bullpen. So we're happy about that.
What type of adjustments or maybe lineup changes are we seeing here tonight?
I'm going to give Berman a break, get Gazzo in there. Dante's going to be DHing today, going to stick with Asola at catcher. He catches it really well and throws it really well. Johnny's going to be in left. Other than that, it's going to be pretty much the same as yesterday, though.
Another lefty, which is nice.
Yep. Got Painter on the mound, looking for him to fill it up, have good tempo. They might put it in play a little bit more than yesterday, but we're looking for our defense to be on our toes and be ready to take care of the baseball.
Now, I remember we were talking at the beginning of the season. Chris is primarily a reliever. This is kind of new, uncharted territory for him. What have you discussed with him, or what are you looking from him from start 1 to start 2?
We're looking for him to improve from that first start. I think he will. Just really looking for him to throw strikes. Most likely he'll move to the bullpen once we get more of our our starting pitchers in, our projected starters, in a week or 2. He'll probably move to the bullpen. That's where he's strongest. But right now he's a great teammate, and he's a competitor and a warrior, and we know that he's going to go out there and compete for us, and that's all we're looking for today.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck tonight.
You betcha. Thank you.
Back to you, Jonathan.
Great stuff, Brian, as always. A lot was touched on in that interview, and I think the first thing that we needed to mention is the pitching performance by Jordan Reagan was absolutely spectacular. He went 8 1/3 innings, gave up no earned runs, 6 Ks, and really came through for the team when they needed it most. We'll have the lineups for you in just a second. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on medfordrogues.com, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. Game 3 of a 4-game series between the Medford Rogues and the Yuba City Bears. Rogues come in at 4-4. Yuba City Bears at 2-5. They've played one less game than the Rogues. Rogues haven't had a day off yet, and no day off in sight, just in the near horizon. The Rogues will finish up this series tomorrow before hopping on a bus and heading to Lincoln for a 3-game series. And it won't be until after that 3-game series when they will finally have a day off, and then they're back on a homestand on Tuesday, June 13th. Let's start with the starting lineups for your Medford Rogues. Leading things off, the second baseman, Clay Valenzuela-Reese. Batting second, the designated hitter, Dante Gutierrez. Batting third, left fielder, Johnny De La Cruz. Hitting cleanup, center fielder, Connor Lowry. In batting fifth, right fielder, Jake Helwig. After that is the catcher, Alex Isola. Batting seventh is first baseman, Jake Gazzo. Hitting behind him, the third baseman, Davis DeLorfis. And rounding out the lineup is shortstop, Scotty Wright. The defensive positions for the Yuba City Bears. Hayden Horan is on the mound tonight. Horan is a lefty, short kid, certainly compared to the likes of Ian Manso and Chris Lamas, who pitched for the Bears the last couple games. Going across the infield, Dominic Diana at first, Eric Cortez at second, Josh Winkler at third, Trey Yukimoto in the hot corner at third base. In left, Brendan Nelson. Center field will be commanded by Jorel Quinones. And in right, Blake Rose. Behind the plate for the Bears, Cody Kitagawa. On the mound for the Rogues tonight, Chris Painter. Another local kid. Same 3 starting pitchers as the first 3 games of this season for the Rogues against these same Yuba City Bears. The 3 local boys. Seems like we are just about ready for first pitch. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here on the live stream. I know we've been a little shaky, still working out the bugs, working out the kinks, but I hope, well, we strive to bring a quality product to you, and we encourage you to message us on the chat, follow us along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The link to the live stats is in the description on this video, and we're ready to get started here. So Clay Valenzuela-Reese, the right-handed batter, steps into the batter's box. Here's the first pitch, and that's outside, ball 1. Horan getting the call. Here's the second pitch that's swung on and missed, strike 1. So 1-1 the count. Horan gets the sign, fires. That pitch is high and outside, and the count runs to 2-1. Just getting started here in Yuba City, well, Marysville rather, against the Yuba City Bears. We are playing at Calusa Casino Stadium, home of the Marysville Gold Sox. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Reese. That one swung on and fouled back, and the count runs even, 2-2. Overcast today. There's no sun in sight here in Marysville. It's a real dichotomy, real difference from the first 2 games when you had some real interesting shadows creeping out over the infield in the first few innings. Here's the 0-2 pitch. The 2-2 pitch is high and outside. That was a curveball that just got away from Horan, and the count runs full, 3-2. So a full count to the leadoff batter, Valenzuela-Reese. Dante Gutierrez waits on deck. Here's the offering. Swung on and fouled back off the first base side, so we will do this again. So Valenzuela-Reese settles back in. Horan gets the sign, winds, deals. That ball is poked down the first base line softly, and that is going to land foul into the Rogues bullpen. Seemed like Valenzuela-Reese checked his swing, but the ball hit the bat and flew a pretty fair distance for half a swing. Here's the pitch from Horan. Swung on. That's hit sharply up the middle. That's going to get past the shortstop, Josh Winkler, and that's going to be a leadoff hit for Clay Valenzuela-Reese. So the leadoff man gets on for the Rogues and stepping into the batter's box,
Now batting for Medford, number 20,
the designated hitter, Dante Gutierrez. For the first two series, Dante Gutierrez was the only catcher on the roster for the Rogues. Caught every inning. 3 of those games went into extras. Then Alex Isola came down for this road trip. And I'm sure Dante became very good friends with Isola very quickly. Here's the first pitch to Gutierrez. Swung on and missed. Strike one. We'd like to thank our friends at Fred Meyer. Thanks to our friends at Fred Meyer, the Rogues will be offering specially priced family ticket packages for each Sunday home game. That's 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 fountain drinks, and 4 souvenir baseballs for just $44. That's the Fred Meyer Family Fun Day Sunday Pack. Horan checks the runner, fires over to first. Valenzuela-Reese is back in time. Leadoff man aboard here in the top of the first inning. Just getting underway here in Marysville. Here's the pitch to Gutierrez. That ball is in the dirt. And the count's even, 1 apiece. Johnny De La Cruz, the number 3 batter, playing left tonight, waits on deck. Valenzuela-Reese takes a couple steps off the bag. Moran looks at him, fires, check swing by Gutierrez, called strike by the home plate umpire. And Gutierrez finds himself in a hole, 1-2.
Count is 1-2 to Gutierrez.
Horan sets, fires over to first base. Valenzuela-Reese is upstanding. Now, normally we would have the Valley Immediate Care pregame injury report for you, but we're pleased to report that there is no one injured to report. The 1-2 pitch to Gutierrez is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Gutierrez goes down on strikes. And coming up now for the Rogues, left fielder Johnny De La Cruz. Valley Immediate Care is a proud sponsor of our Rogues broadcast team. Valley Immediate Care has locations in both North and South Medford, Ashland, Grants Pass, and Brookings, offering urgent care, occupational health, physicals, laser services, and more. Head to valley-ic.com for more information. First pitch to De La Cruz is outside for ball 1. Valenzuela-Reese on first, led the game off with a single. The pitch to De La Cruz is down, ball 2. So 2-0 the count. This game just getting underway. Overcast night. No more than in the mid to low 60s. Moran fires over to first. Valenzuela-Reese again back standing in plenty of time. In the first 2 games of this series, it was hot. It was hot. It was humid. But today it's all clouds, all overcast. Here's the pitch, De La Cruz. He swings at it, fouls it back into the bleachers. And the count's 2-1. Just getting underway here in Marysville. Top of the first inning, Valenzuela-Reese on first. De La Cruz at the dish. The 1-2 pitch, the 2-1 pitch is high. Count runs to 3-1. Hayden Horan on the mound for the Bears. Looks at Reese, fires to the dish, and it's outside for ball 4. So Johnny De La Cruz earns himself a walk. Valenzuela Reese heads to second. And with 2 runners on, Connor Lowry steps up to the plate. The Rogues would like to thank our friends at Avista. Serving Medford since 1906, Avista has created opportunities, sparked imaginations, and fueled innovation. Today, as they celebrate more than a century of service, the folks at Avista are committed as ever to helping communities they serve to grow and prosper. Head to avistautilities.com. The first pitch to Connor Lowry is inside, ball 1. Again, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us here on the live stream brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. 1 ball, no strikes to Connor Lowry. Runners at second and first here in the top of the first inning. The pitch, just low and outside. Looked like a good pitch to me, but called a ball. So it's 2 balls and no strikes to the center fielder, Connor Lowry. Valenzuela Reese led off the game with a single, and then Johnny De La Cruz walked. The pitch to Lowry is high and outside, ball 3. So 3-0 the count to Connor Lowry. We'll see if Josh Hogan gives him the green light. Horan gets the sign from Cody Kitagawa, the Bears catcher. Checks the runner at second. Fires to the plate. That one is inside for a strike. The count runs to 3-1. Connor Lowry was taking all the way there. Top of the first inning, 1 out, 2 men on for the Rogues. Connor Lowry at the dish in a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. In the dirt for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Now the umpires are calling time here. Looks like the manager, Jeremy Gillum,
The Bears would like to thank the following businesses
is coming out to have a conversation with his young pitcher.
Well,
Well, that gives me a second to talk to you about Morton's Family Dining and Bar. Morton's offers something for everyone. Morton's has a full sports bar, a separate family dining side of the restaurant, and even delivery. Check out our website, mortons.com. That's Morton's with 2 R's. So the table is set. Stepping into the batter's box is the right fielder, Jake Helwig. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Jake Helwig got the dish. First pitch, off speed, outside. Ball 1. So the Rogues have loaded the bases here in the top of the first inning with just 1 hit. That was Clay Valenzuela Reese led off the game with a single up the middle. And then 2 walks. Loads the bases for Helwig. The 1-0 pitch is inside, ball 2. So Horan behind in the count to Jake Helwig. Bases loaded, 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball down, ball 3. So 3-0 now to Jake Helwig with the bases loaded. There's nowhere to put him. Last night the Rogues scored 7 runs, but 3 of them were unearned. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That is on the black for a strike. Helwig was taken all the way on that one, daring him to throw a strike, and Horan does. So 3-1 now the count with the bases loaded here in the top of the first inning. No score so far, just getting underway here in Marysville. Here's the pitch to Helwig. Check swing, no swing, says the home plate umpire, and that will walk home a run. So the RBI for Jake Helwig. Everyone moves up 90 feet, and the Rogues take a early 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Wacky Wednesdays with $2 PBR drafts, $2 hot dogs, $5 Feather Falls Brews down in the concourse.
So Clay Valenzuela Reese scores. Johnny De La Cruz is at third, Connor Lowry at second, and Jake Helwig at first. All three of the Rogues base runners right now have reached on a walk. 3 consecutive walks given up by Haran. Stepping in now to the batter's box is the catcher, Alex Isola. First pitch to Isola. He swings at it. Hits a high pop-up that's going to land foul off the first base side. And the count is 0-1. 1 out. Bases loaded here in the top of the first inning. 1-0 Rogues. Hayden Haran on the mound for Yuba City. Here's the pitch. That is on the strike. On the strike. That is on the corner for a strike. And the count runs to 0-2. Oh, the umpire is calling for some more baseballs, and we have a few lucky fans, no older than 5 years old, get to put on a helmet and run out and deliver some balls to the home plate umpire. That's a sweet sight to see. So bases loaded, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. 1-0 Rogues. Alex Isola at the dish on an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on just, got a piece of it. Isola stays alive. That was a good off-speed pitch by Haran. Isola was way out in front of that one. And the count remains 0-2. Valenzuela Reese on third. Johnny De La Cruz on third. Connor Lowry at second. Here's the pitch to Isola. That's high, ball 2. Valenzuela Reese scored. He led off the inning with a single, and then 3 consecutive walks pushed him home. Still 1 out here. Bases loaded for Isola on the 1-2 count. Off-speed pitch. Isola swings at it and hits it foul. The count remains 1-2. De La Cruz at third, Connor Lowry at second, Jake Helwig at first, all reached on a walk. Haran sets, fires to the plate, swung on, fouled back again by Isola. Now the count remains 1-2. Isola's doing a great job of battling at the plate, looking for a pitch that he can hit. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded in the top of the first inning, 1-0 Rogues. Catcher Alex Isola at the dish, and he calls for time. So we're reset. Haran gets the call from Cody Kitagawa, the Bears catcher. Sets, fires, down and away, ball 2. So this will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat for Alex Isola. And Haran is laboring here in the first inning. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded in a 1-run game. Here's the pitch to Isola, another off-speed pitch that bounces in front of the plate, and he runs the count full.
Count is full to Isola.
It was a curveball thrown by Haran, and it just curved way too early. Bounced in front of the home plate. Easy to lay off from Isola. So bases loaded, full count to Alex Isola. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. We will do this again. So this will be the 10th pitch at the at-bat for Alex Isola, doing a great job of battling. It was down 1-2, and the count kept fouling off pitches. He's run the count full, 3-2. And Haran is 1 ball away from walking another Rogues home. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit sharply to the third baseman. The third baseman can't handle it. That's going to be an RBI for Alex Isola. That's going to score 2. So 3-0 ball game here in the top of the first inning for the Rogues. Alex Isola brings home Johnny De La Cruz and Connor Lowry.
Number 22, first baseman Jake Gazzo.
So 3-0. Jake Helwig at second, Alex Isola at first. And Jake Gazzo stepping up to the plate. Three runs, just 2 hits, and 3 walks in this top of the first inning. Here's Jake Gazzo. Looks at a first pitch ball. breaking ball inside for ball 1. Still only 1 out here in the top of the first inning. What a great at-bat by Alex Isola. Battling and battling, waiting for a pitch that he could hit. Finally hits a shot by the third baseman. The 1-0 pitch to Jake Gazzo is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Horan just having some difficulty finding the strike zone to start this game off. 3-0 game. Runners on first and second. 2-0 count to Gazzo. And that one's in the dirt. So 3 balls and no strikes now in the top of the first inning. Still only 1 out. Jake Helwig at second. Alex Isola at first. 3-0 Rogues. Here's the pitch to Gazzo. He takes a strike. And like the last few batters, taking all the way on a 3-0 count. So 3-1 now to Jake Gazzo. Runner on first and second here in the top of the first inning. Horan checks the runner at second. Now fires to the dish. Swung on, hits softly to the third baseman. He's going to fire it over to second for 1, but that's all they're going to get. So Jake Helwig advances to third on the fielder's choice. Alex Isola gets thrown out at second. And there are runners on the corners for the third baseman, Davis DeLorfis. Three runs, 2 hits in the top of the first inning for the Rogues, 3 walks. Runners on the corners for Davis DeLorfis. The first pitch is in the dirt, blocked nicely by Cody Kitagawa. It counts 1-0. Jake Helwig at first. Jake Gazzo at first. Excuse me, Jake Helwig at third. Jake Gazzo at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. DeLorfis takes. Ball 2. 2 outs in the top of the first inning. 3 runs have already come across for the Rogues. Scotty Wright, the 9-hitter in the lineup, is on deck. Here's the pitch to DeLorfis. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. So 2-1 the count, 2 outs, 3-0 game. Jake Helwig at third, Jake Gazzo at first. Davis DeLorfis at the dish. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3. So another hitter's count. Seems like every batter for the Rogues has had a 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 situation. They only have 2 hits. They've been walked 3 times. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count runs full. So the runners will be going here with a full count to Davis DeLorfis and 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Just getting underway here in Marysville. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Here's the full count pitch to DeLorfis. It gets away from the catcher, and Jake Helwig's going to score from third. We'll see if they call it a wild pitch or a passed ball, but regardless, that gets away from Kitagawa. Would have loaded the bases. It was ball 4, but on the wild pitch, Jake Helwig comes in to score, and it looks like
ladies and gentlemen, down in the concourse, $5
that might be it for Hayden Herron.
Creamy, smooth, cold,
it is.
Sweet adult type beverage. That's the one.
Manager Jeremy Gillum is pulling him. So we'll be right back with the pitching change. 4-0 Rogues on just 2 hits here in the top of the first inning. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com. Brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group.
On the mound Number 14, Ben Purcell.
Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com. 4-0, top of the first inning. Rogues on top in a big way. Scored 4 runs on just 2 hits. We had a pitching change on the other side of this break. Coming in now for the Yuba City Bears, it's the right-hander Ben Purcell. So Hayden Horan, his day ends just throwing 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 runs, 3 walks, and 2 hits. Jake Gazzo at second, Davis DeLorfis at first, and Scotty Wright, the 9th hitter of the inning, comes up to the plate. Ben Purcell now on the mound for the Yuba City Bears. 2 outs, top of the first inning, 4-0 Rogues. Here's the first pitch to Scotty Wright. That one is outside. Ball 1. Want to know the count to Scotty Wright. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit down the first base line. That's going to go foul. And the count evens at 1 apiece. Located just 5 minutes from the I-5 and Grants Pass, Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions is the only place you need to go for the ultimate Rogue River experience. Jet through historic Hellgate Canyon, lounge at the exclusive OK Corral, and feast on all-you-can-eat homemade barbecue. Visit www.hellgate.com to book your experience today. The next pitch to Scotty Wright is called high. Looked good from up here, but count now is 2 balls and 1 strikes. Valenzuela Reese, who led this inning off with a single, came around to score, is on deck. That ball is dropping to the shortstop, Josh Winkler. Winkler fires it over to Dominic Diana in time. And that is the end of the top of the first inning. 4 runners come across for the Rogues. We head to the bottom of the first inning. 4-0 Rogues. You are listening to the Medford Rogues live stream live on MedfordRogues.com. Brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home experts. We'll be back right after this.
Sports Pub and Eatery on Plymouth Street in Yuba City.
Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com. Brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home experts. So a big first inning for the Medford Rogues. 4 runners come across to score on just 2 hits. We'll give you the defensive alignments for your Medford Rogues. Going around the infield, first baseman Jake Gazzo. At second, Clay Valenzuela Reese. Shortstop is Scotty Wright. Third baseman, Davis DeLorfis. And in the outfield, left field, Johnny De La Cruz. center fielder Connor Lowry, and the right fielder Jake Helwig. It's the same alignment as yesterday. On the mound for the Rogues, number 30, Chris Painter, who hails out of Central Point, Oregon. Chris Painter went 6 innings, scattered 7 hits, earned the win in his first time out against these Yuba City Bears. Stepping into the batter's box for the Bears is third baseman Trey Yukamoto. He takes a first pitch ball, from Chris Painter. Second pitch to Yukamoto is high and outside. Ball 2. 2-0 the count to Trey Yukamoto. Here's the pitch. That hits him. So Trey Yukamoto hit by the pitch. And the Bears have a runner on to start the bottom half of the first inning. You know, they always talk about in the big leagues about the shutdown inning. After your offense gives you some run support, it seems like it's imperative to, as a pitcher, to get a quick inning, get out of there, give your offense more chance to hit, keep the momentum going. Stepping in and out of the batter's box for the Bears is the left fielder Brendan Nelson. He looks at a first pitch strike. Counts 0-1. Trey Yukamoto on first. 4-0 ball game here in the bottom half of the first inning here in Marysville. Chris Painter sets. Fires home. That pitch is high and outside. Ball 1. On deck for the Bears, Dominic Diana. The lefty sets on the mound, fires. That pitch is outside, ball 2. So 2-1 the count to Brendan Nelson. Painter sets, and now he fires over to first base. Yukamoto is back standing. Painter getting the sign from Isola. Gets into the stretch and fires home. That pitch is way outside. So 3-1 now the count to Brendan Nelson. 4-0 Rogues in the bottom half of the first inning. Leadoff man on for the Bears. Trey Yukamoto got hit by a pitch. Painter sets. Fires. That ball is hit to the second baseman, Clay Valenzuela-Reese. Reese fires it over to second in time. Over to first in time to get Brendan Nelson. The Rogues turn a double play. Chris Painter's got to be appreciative of that one. He's applauding the infield of Clay Valenzuela-Reese, Scotty Wright, and Jake Gazzo. So Brendan Nelson hits into the 4-6-3 double play. Bases are clear. Dominic Diana on base. Up at the plate for the Bears. Here's the first pitch. Swings at the first pitch, hits it foul down the first base side. Counts 0-1. Oh, one pitch is outside. Looks like that one got away from Chris Painter. Counts even, 1 apiece. 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning. 4-0 Rogues. Next pitch, Diana's off the tip of the bat, and the count runs to 1-2. Leadoff man got on for the Bears, but a great double play turned by the infield of Clay Valenzuela-Reese, Scotty Wright, and Jake Gazzo. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Painter. Outside check swing by Diana, and the first base umpire punches him out, says he went around. So the first strikeout for Chris Painter. And just like that, 3 up, 3 down for the Bears. 4-0 Rogues heading into the top half of the second inning. You are listening to the Medford Rogues broadcast on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. We'll be back right after this. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. 4-0 ball game heading into the top of the second inning. Every Rogues batter came up to bat in the first. The lineup turns over, and the leadoff man, Clay Valenzuela-Reese, is up at the dish. Here's the first pitch to Valenzuela-Reese. Swings at it. Hits a high pop up to the center fielder, Joel Quinones, who makes the grab. One pitch, one out for the Rogues. It's a pitching change for the Rogues, for the Bears. Hayden Horan, who started the game, just went 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, 4 earned runs. And manager Jeremy Gillum for the Bears had seen enough. Brought in Ben Purcell, who's now on the mound. Dante Gutierrez at the dish. Takes a called strike, 0-1. It's a nice off-speed pitch by Purcell, the righty.
Number 20, Dante Gutierrez, designated hitter this evening.
Gutierrez, the designated hitter. Gutierrez hits a ball sharply to the left side. Shortstop Winkler picks it up but can't make the throw. And Gutierrez is aboard on a hit. So Gutierrez is aboard for the Rogues here in the top of the second inning. 4-0 Rogues on just 2 hits. Well, 3 now. Stepping into the batter's box for the Rogues, left fielder Johnny De La Cruz. Ben Purcell on the mound. Dante Gutierrez at first. Here's the pitch. De La Cruz hits one sharply, but the center fielder was shaded towards left field. Fires it over to first in time. Dante Gutierrez was running on the hit. Thought that it was going to fall, and under normal circumstance it would, but Joel Quinones was shaded really far over into right field and was able to make the play. So Dante Gutierrez, caught on the running error, is doubled up at first, and the Rogues go down in order. We head to the bottom half of the second inning, 4-0 Rogues. You are listening to the Medford Rogues broadcast, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. We'll be back right after this.
We know that banking doesn't have to be complicated. Good banking happens when we put people first. Here at People's Bank, we're for the people with big dreams. We're here for families working on creating a better life for their children. We're for businesses investing locally to create a better community we're proud to call home. This is Ken Troutman, president of People's Bank. When we put people first, families grow stronger, businesses thrive, and our community flourishes. People's Bank. We put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com. 4-0 ball game here, bottom half of the second inning. Rogues sent 4 runners to the plate in the first on just 2 hits. Chris Painter on the mound for the Rogues, a scoreless first inning. 1 walk given up, well, 1 hit by pitch, and a strikeout. Up to bat now for the Bears is DH Logan Worm. First pitch called a ball. The second pitch fouled back, and the count's even, 1 apiece. Logan Worm was the DH Monday night and hit a homer over the left field fence here at Calusa Casino Stadium. 1-1 the count. Painter sets, fires. That ball is hit to right field. Hellwig is right there, takes one step to his left, and records the out. So 1 out in the bottom half of the second inning. 4-0 in favor of the Rogues. Stepping up now, the shortstop, Josh
Ladies
Winkler.
and gentlemen, now batting for the Yuba City Bears, your shortstop tonight, number 8, Josh Winkler.
Painter sets, fires, first pitch swinging, and that ball is hit directly to Connor Lowry, who takes one step to his right and makes the catch. So just like that, we have 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits for the Bears, 4 runs, 3 hits for the Rogues.
And now batting for the Yuba City Bears, second baseman number 22.
Now up to bat for the Yuba City Bears, second baseman Eric Cortez. Chris Painter getting the sign from Alex Isola. Lefty goes into the windup, fires. That first pitch off speed outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 to Cortez. Fastball, that one's hit to the shortstop, gets by Scotty Wright, and that is the first hit given up by Chris Painter. So Cortez gets on, and that will bring on the catcher, Cody Kitagawa.
Now batting for the Yuba City Bears, number 7, your catcher tonight, Cody Kitagawa.
Cody Kitagawa, right-handed hitter. Painter looking over at Cortez at first, now fires home. That first pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. You are listening to the Medford Rogues broadcast live on medfordrogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That ball hits him. So Cody Kitagawa gets hit. Now the Bears have runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Stepping in now for the Bears, right fielder Blake Rose.
Hometown team, the Yuba City Bears, number 27, right fielder Blake Rose.
Overcast night here in Marysville. Breeze blowing in from center field. Here's the first pitch to Blake Rose. And it's called a ball, ball 1. You know, I tell you, James, it is cooler here, but it is just as humid. I'd take a dry heat any day. Next pitch to Blake Rose is high. Isola fires over to first, trying to backpick Cody Kitagawa. Kitagawa back in time. So 2 balls, no strikes to Blake Rose. Runners at first and second for the Bears here in the home half of the second inning. 4-0 Rogues. Painter sets, fires. That pitch is high for ball 3. So 3-0 the count now to Blake Rose. And Chris Painter is 1 ball away from loading them here in the bottom of the second inning, but 2 outs, so he's just 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. Here's the pitch, and that's low for ball 4. Oh, the bases are loaded, and Isola coming out to have a conversation with Chris Painter. Rogues Baseball is brought to you by Claudio Alvarez Construction and Restoration. Founded over 2 decades ago, Claudio Alvarez Construction and Restoration are there when you need them most. Whether it's fire, storm, or water damage, the Alvarez Restoration Team is ready and willing to bring your home back to how it used to be. We like to say, when bad stuff happens, we make good stuff happen. Find us at alvarezrestoration.com or by calling 541-727-7340. Stepping in now for the Bears, center fielder Jarrell Quinones. Quinones takes a first pitch ball, and that's 5 or 6 straight balls thrown now by Chris Painter. And now Josh Hogan's coming out and having a conversation with the home plate umpire. And now the home plate umpire, Josh Hogan, the catcher, Alex Isola, are all going out to the mound to talk to Chris Painter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bears would like to
Chris
thank the
Painter's
following
playing with his hand. It looks like he may be developing a blister out there.
Brewery and Casino and Sierra Central Credit Union.
So we're taking a quick break from the action here.
Of the Yuba City Bears.
But that gives me a second rather to talk to you about Crater Lake Ford. If you're looking for a used car or truck, why not head to the dealer that will give you the best quality vehicle at the best price? Crater Lake Ford uses real-time tracking software to research similar makes within hundreds of miles to give you the best car shopping experience while saving you time and money. Crater Lake Ford. Right cars and trucks, right prices, right experiences. Visit craterlakeford.com. So Painter is staying in, bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Quinones swings at the first pitch, fouls it, and the count is even at 1 apiece. 2 outs, bottom of the second inning, 4-0 game for the Rogues. Eric Cortez at third, Cody Kitagawa at second, Blake Rose at first. Jorel Quinones at the plate. Painter deals, swung on and missed for a strike. So 1-2 the count now. Painter is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Painter getting the sign from Alex Isola. And here's the pitch. Swung and hit softly to the second baseman. It's a difficult read for the second baseman, Clay Valenzuela-Reese, but he makes the grab on the fly. And Chris Painter gets out of the inning. So after 2, we head to the top of the third inning, 4-0 Rogues. You are listening to the Medford Rogues broadcast live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. We'll be back right after this.
And while you're down there, don't forget.
You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. 4-0 ball game here in the top of the third inning. Rogues on top. Rogues scored all 4 of their runs in the first inning on just 2 hits. Stepping up now for the Rogues, center fielder Connor Lowry. Connor Lowry walked and scored back in the first inning. Ben Purcell, who did not start this game on the mound for the Bears. Here's the first pitch. That is high to Lowry. Ball 1 and no strikes. We apologize for any static you may be hearing. The 1-0 pitch to Lowry is in there for a strike. Counts even, 1 apiece. Ben Purcell came in the first inning in a bases-loaded jam, only gave up 1 in relief of the starting pitcher for the Yuba City Bears, Hayden Horan, who went just 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 runs, 3 walks, and 3 earned runs, or 4 rather, after he left the game. Next pitch to Lowry is fouled off. The count's even 1 apiece. Purcell fires. In there. Strike 3 called. I had the count wrong. Excuse me. That was a 1-2 pitch that Lowry took and got rung up.
And now batting for the Rogues, number 27 right fielder Jake Helwig.
So Lowry retired on strikes, and coming up for the Rogues is right fielder Jake Helwig. First pitch to Helwig, swung on and missed for a strike. Counts 0-1. Jake Helwig got the first RBI of the game on a walk. Moved everyone up 90 feet. Second pitch to Helwig, swung on and missed again, and the count's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. 4-0 Rogues over the Yuba City Bears here in Marysville. Here's the pitch to Helwig. Poked at it, almost hits the pitcher, Ben Purcell. Somehow got away from it. Goes straight up the middle for a hit. Nice piece of hitting by Jake Helwig. He is aboard for Alex Isola.
Now batting for the Rogue, number 24, catcher Alex Isola.
Jake Helwig just poked at it. I'm not sure if he even swung. It's like he just stuck the bat out there and let the ball rebound and do the rest. So Helwig at first, Isola at the dish. Purcell, first pitch swinging by Isola. Great stop by the shortstop, Josh Winkler. A diving stop, flips it with his glove to the second baseman, Eric Cortez. Fires it over to first in time to Dominic Diana to double up Alex Isola. What an amazing play. I was speechless there for a second. Took me a second to gather my words. Isola hit that ball hard to the shortstop's Josh Winkler. Made a diving grab in the dirt. Dust flying everywhere. Flipped it to Eric Cortez, who fired it over to Diana in time for the double play. So the Rogues go down in order. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. 4-0 Rogues. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball. Brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home experts. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. 4-0 here in Marysville, your Rogues on top. Dylan Pierce on the mound. Chris Painter on the mound. The leadoff man for the Bears, Trey Yukamoto, hits that ball to the left fielder, Johnny De La Cruz, who makes the grab, and just like that, we have one away. Dylan Pierce pitched the first game of this series, and then Jordan Reagan pitched last night. Turned in a terrific performance, going 8 1/3, giving up no earned runs and striking out 6. Chris Painter on the mound for the Rogues. First pitch to Brendan Nelson, who steps in the batter's box as a called strike, 0-1. Here's the next pitch. That one is hit softly to the first baseman, Jake Gazzo. Gazzo calls off Chris Painter and takes it to the bag himself, just like that. 2 down in the home half of the 3rd.
Now batting for the Yuba City Bears, first baseman number 32, Dominic Diana.
Stepping up now for the Bears, third baseman Dominic Diana. First baseman, excuse me. First pitch, a curveball by Painter is high, ball 1. 1-0 pitch to Diana. Another curveball, and this one's low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Dominic Diana. 2 outs, nobody on in the home half of the third. Chris Painter fires. That ball is hit sharply up the middle. That's going to go for a hit. Second hit of the game for the Bears. And that will bring up the DH Logan Worm.
And ladies and gentlemen, that'll bring up the Yuba City Bears designated hitter this evening, number 15, Logan Worm.
Logan Worm, the DH, stepping in, right-handed batter, facing the lefty Chris Painter. Dominic Diana at first. Painter takes a breath, and that ball is hit into left field. That's going to go for a hit. So back-to-back hits for the Yuba City Bears. They have 2 on here, 2 out in the bottom of the third inning. Fans, I can't tell you how many times we've had to replace a window at Harry David Field because of a stray foul or fly ball. When we need our windows replaced or fixed, the only team we trust are the folks at Bill's Glass. With locations in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass, Bill's Glass is the fastest and most affordable glass service in Southern Oregon. Stepping up now for the Rogues, shortstop Josh Winkler, who made a terrific defensive play in the top half of this inning. Here's the first pitch to Winkler. Inside for ball 1. Alex Isola hit a ball sharply up the middle. Winkler made a diving catch. Glove flipped to the second baseman, Eric Cortez, who then fired it over to Dominic Diana to double up Isola. Next pitch to Winkler is high. Isola throwing over to Gazzo at first, trying to backpick Logan Worm at first base, but not in time. So 2 balls and no strikes to Josh Winkler. Painter sets, deals, swung on, fouled back. 2-1 now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to remind you, foul balls are abundant and they leave with a high exit
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third inning, 4-0 Rogues. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us on the live stream. Here's the pitch from Painter. That's swung on, hit sharply down the right field line. Is that going to fall fair? No. Lands in the Rogues' dugout. And the count's even at 2 apiece. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Here in the bottom of the third inning, 4-0 Rogues. Josh Winkler at the plate. Here's the pitch from Painter. That one's outside. I could tell that'd be outside before it even hit the catcher's glove. Full count. Some action in the Rogues bullpen. That's number 11, Bobby Wood. Chris Painter was messing around with his throwing hand. Looked like he might have been developing a blister. But he's out there now. Full count to Winkler. Swung on, hit to the third baseman, Delorfis. Delorfis fires it over to Gazzo in time. And that ends the threat for the Bears. So after 3, 4-0 game here in Marysville. Your Rogues on top. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Jake Gazzo, Davis Delorfis, and Scotty Wright coming up. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com. Brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home experts. We'll be back right after this.
1425 Butte House Road in Yuba City.
Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. This is Medford Rogues Baseball presented by the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Brian Schnee with you here in Marysville, California. Thanks to Jonathan Kerman for taking us through innings 1 through 3. He will be back with you from innings 6 till who knows. We've had 10 3 times this year, so I'm not ruling that out one bit. Rogues on top, however, 4-0. Top of the 4th. And Jake Gazzo steps in. The right-hander deals to Jake Gazzo, and the first pitch is a called strike. Gazzo reached on a fielder's choice in the first as the Rogues made it through batters 1 through 9. Gazzo is the 7 hitter in the lineup. Here's the 0-1. Low and outside in the dirt. The count is 1-1. Ben Purcell back out there for the top of the 4th. From the stretch, the 1-1. Low and outside, 2 straight curveballs from Purcell, both out of the zone, and the count is 2-1. No outs. Rogues have 5 hits. Yuba City, however, does have 4. Painter has worked himself out of a couple jams here early in this ball game. Here's the 2-1. Gazzo thought about it, and I don't believe he went, and that's confirmed by the first base umpire. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Davis DeLorfis on deck. Walked in the first inning, and then Scotty Wright will step in after that. The count is 3-1. Gazzo hits one hard directly to the shortstop. What a nice play by Winkler.
And a nice hit by Winkler.
Elevating and moving towards second base, jumping and making the catch on a line. We've seen Winkler now make a couple spectacular plays in the field here tonight.
Number 18, Davis DeLorfis.
So DeLorfis, the University of Utah product, steps in. Davis was actually injured almost all season, so did not play. You may have seen yesterday in a couple pictures that we put up on our Facebook album, he's wearing a brace at times, especially when he's out there on the bags. First pitch swinging, a low bounce over to the third baseman. He picks up and fires to first. That is Trey Yukamoto for the second out. Scotty Wright steps in now. Another guy that has put in his work, to say the very least. Scotty Wright has played at shortstop primarily this season, but has also seen some time at second and a little bit on the mound as well. Scotty Wright pitched while he was with Colorado Christian. Minimal innings. He played in all 40 games for Colorado Christian and led the team in batting average. And now he's up here back in the field, batting in the 9 spot. Potentially a little spark. He lays down the bunt. It's a good one, but it's going to trickle foul. No doubt about it, Scotty Wright would have easily beaten that throw over to first. He was Ichiro-esque halfway down the batter's box and halfway out of the batter's box, it seemed, and halfway down the first base line. I want to say before Yukamoto even maybe was able to pick that up, he was probably close to first base. So count 0-1 to Scotty Wright. First night here at Calusa Casino Stadium where the temperature has really been cool. It's been comfortable. Little breeze tonight as well. Count 0-1 to Scotty Wright. Purcell has 2 quick outs. Goes to the plate, the 0-1. Scotty Wright hits it on the ground over and takes a funky hop to the shortstop Winkler, and he can't corral it and make a throw.
And ladies and gentlemen, the temperature is
clearly will be an error on Winkler, just as I got done saying that Josh has been really good over at shortstop in the early innings. Took a terrible hop. So this will bring up Clay Valenzuela-Reese.
Rogues number 13, second baseman Clay Valenzuela-Reese.
First pitch to Valenzuela-Reese is low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Clay has already been up twice tonight here in the top of the 4th inning, making his 3rd plate appearance. And he had a single to lead off the ball game, would eventually come around to score. His next at bat would be a fly out to center. Now he rips one to center field for a base hit with 2 outs.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 outs to the top of the 4th inning.
So this brings up Dante Gutierrez. the designated hitter, struck out in the first plate appearance in the top of the first inning, and then was thrown out over at first after a single in the second inning. Picked off, and now a runner on first and second for Gutierrez to maybe make some adjustments here, and we'll see what he can do. Rogues on top 4-0, giving Chris Painter the run support early. First pitch outside corner for the left-handed hitting Dante Gutierrez. The count is 0-1. Painter has faced 14 batters, a strikeout, a walk, 3 hits in 3 innings of work. The count is 0-1. Purcell comes to his set and has runners on first and second. He goes to the plate. Low and in, count 1-1. Located just 5 minutes from the I-5 and Grants Pass, Hellgate Jet Boat Excursions is the only place you need to go for the ultimate Rogue River experience. You can jet through the Hellgate Canyon, lounge at the exclusive OK Corral, and feast on an all-you-can-eat homemade barbecue. Hellgate.com. That's where you book your experience today. Next pitch off the plate. Count is 2-1 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Scotty Wright at second. Clay Valenzuela Reese at first. The 2-1. Hit down the first base side and foul, and the count is now 2-2.
The count is 2-2, Gutierrez.
Gutierrez has the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. I believe they're calling it a Wacky Wednesday here in Marysville. Doesn't seem like anyone is too wacky just yet, but you never know by the later innings with the affordable beer prices. Count is 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here's the 3-2 to Gutierrez. Purcell looks at second, goes to the plate. Ball 4. So Scotty right now 90 feet away, getting a quick check-in with his manager, Josh Hogan. At second is Clay Valenzuela Reese, and at first, Dante Gutierrez. Johnny De La Cruz will step in. Johnny walked in the first, came around to score, and flew out to center to end a 1-2-3 top of the second inning. Purcell deals to the plate. It's outside, 1-0. Count is 1-0 to De La Cruz. Hit to the right fielder, tracking towards the line and making the catch is Blake Rose, and the Rogues will strand 3. Medford still on top, 4-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. And it looks like Chris Painter going to head back out there for another go at it. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Bottom of the fourth inning, Medford Rogues baseball. Presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Brian Schnee with you here in Marysville, California. Rogues on top 4-0. Chris Painter back out there for the Medford Rogues. Nursing a blister on the left hand. That is his pitching arm, of course. But hurls a first pitch strike to Blake Rose. Eric Cortez sees the next pitch and drills it to right center field. It gets cut off and right by Jake Helwig, and he's going to fire a strong throw into second base, and that strands Cortez with a leadoff single. Second single tonight for Cortez.
And ladies and gentlemen, from Hawaii, your catcher tonight.
This will bring up Cody Kitagawa, the catcher. Was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. And now he has Eric Cortez over at first. Chris Painter looks over at first and goes to the plate. Kitagawa swings at the first pitch. He hits it sky high to left field. Underneath it is Johnny De La Cruz, and he makes the catch for out number one. One pitch, one out.
Batting for your Yuba City Bears, number 27, right fielder Blake Rose.
Painter comes to his set and goes to the plate. Rose, the right-handed hitter, sees a called strike. The count is 0-1. Blooped over to shallow right and actually doesn't even make it out of the infield as Clay Valenzuela-Reese trots over about 4 steps to make the catch. Out number 2.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, batting for the Yuba City Bears with the shoes that don't lie, number 1, Jarrell Quinones.
First pitch is a comebacker from Quinones to Chris Painter, and he takes it over to first for an easy out. So the Yuba City Bears strand one, but nothing across as we've made it through 4 full innings. The Rogues on top 4-0. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Down to the Linenger Injury Lawyers.
Back here in Marysville, California, Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com. Brian Schnee with you back here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch to Connor Lowry, swings at it, hits a 2-bouncer to the third baseman, Trey Yukamoto, and fires Lowry out at first for a quick 1 pitch, 1 out. This will bring up Jake Hellwig.
Now batting for the Rogue, number 20.
Hellwig walked in a run in the first and then had a single in the third. Hellwig sees the first one away, and the count is 1-0. Purcell from the stretch. Goes to the plate. Hellwig fouls it down the right side, and the count is 1-1. Count 1-1. Purcell deals, and Hellwig hits it hard to right center field. It's going to drop and be cut off by the center fielder, and Jake Hellwig slides in safely at second with a one-out double here in the top of the fifth inning.
Now batting for the Rogue, number 24, the catcher this evening, Alex Isola.
This brings in Alex Isola, the catcher for the Medford Rogues. Alex 1 for 2 with 2 RBI. Had the RBI, the dual RBI single rather, in the first inning. So now runner at second. Isola fouls it off his own body, and the count is 0-1. Rogue Regency Inn & Suites is the official host hotel of the Medford Rogues. Whether you're in Southern Oregon for a quick stay or a longer visit, Rogue Regency has a warm, casually elegant atmosphere with plenty to offer, including Chadwick's, the official sports bar of the Medford Rogues, and your post-game party headquarters. It's Chadwick's Pub and Sports Bar and the Rogue Regency Inn & Suites. Count 0-1. Purcell goes to the plate. Called strike on Isola on the outer half, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. We'll be heading to Alex Isola's hometown on Friday night as the Medford Rogues take on the Lincoln Potters Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as Isola fends it off, fouling it out of play, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Purcell has been pretty effective since coming in for Hayden Horan. And looks at second, goes to the plate. Isola gets fooled, swings and misses, and trots down the first. He gets thrown out. So this will bring up Jake Gazzo.
Now batting for the Rogue, number 22, first baseman Jake Gazzo.
Catcher Cody Kitagawa is struggling here, going down to see some of his players and maybe even a trainer going to pop out. He's got a little water and looks like he's shaking it off here. Maybe got something in the eye, not quite sure. So Kitagawa will come back in and get back behind the plate with 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning, the Rogues struck first, and that's all they've needed so far. They lead 4-0. Purcell back on the rubber. And Jake Hellwig over at second base. Jake Gazzo steps in the right-handed batter's box, has no count to him. The Rogues have scattered 7 hits through the first 4 innings. And on the other side, Yuba City has been able to get 4 hits, rather 5, against Chris Painter. Count is 1-0 to Jake Gazzo. The righty looks at second base, and Purcell goes to the plate. Low and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the 5th inning here in Marysville, California at Calusa Casino Stadium. Brian Schnee with you live on MedfordRogues.com. Right over the heart of the plate for a strike to Jake Gazzo. Didn't look like he had much of an intent on swinging at that one, but the count is now 2-1. Purcell comes back to his set and goes to the plate. Great spot there on the outer part of the plate and just painted the black, and the count is 2-2. So Lowry grounded out to third on one pitch. Jake Helwig had a double, and Alex Isola struck out. The count is 2-2 to Gazzo. Looks at one just downstairs and low, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 3-2 from Purcell. Gazzo fouls it back on a dribbler, and the count remains 3-2. Heroes is the new place for gourmet subs, wraps, salads, and burgers. People are really talking about how Heroes is the best sandwich shop in town. Go give them a try. Eat like a hero. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Outside for ball 4. Helwig at second, and now Gazzo at first. Davis DeLorfis will step in. Purcell comes to his set as runners on first and second. First pitch is low and away to DeLorfis. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 is hit good to right center field. It's going to drop. It's going to go all the way to the wall. 1 run scores. Jake Gazzo motoring around third. He's going to come around and score. DeLorfis trying to stretch into a triple. He slides in safely. A 2 RBI triple for Davis DeLorfis with 2 outs, and the Medford Rogues have a 6-0 lead.
Batting for the Rogue, number 8, shortstop.
So DeLorfis motors all the way around. He hit it to the right center field gap. It bounced all the way to the wall. And 2 runs score. Jake Helwig scoring, Jake Gazzo scoring, and DeLorfis now 90 feet away for Scotty Wright, the 9-hitter. Wright fouls it away. The count is 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. 4 runs coming across in the top of the 1st. The big swing in that inning came via Alex Isola with a 2 RBI single. Here in this one, Davis DeLorfis was 0 for 1 with a walk prior to that at bat, and he slapped in 2 with a triple to the right center field wall. Beautiful night for baseball in Marysville. Count is 1-1 to Scotty Wright. Hits it on a dribbler over to the third baseman. Yukamoto strong fire to first for the out. And the Rogues will still get a couple across as DeLorfis had the big swing to right center field. And the Rogues are on top 6-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Number is 283.
Welcome back to Calusa Casino Stadium. Brian Schnee with you here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Trey Yukamoto swings at the first pitch from Chris Painter, and he hits it out of play. The count is 0-1. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 6-0 Rogues as they poured it on with a 2 RBI triple courtesy of Davis DeLorfis. And Yukamoto fouls the second one away. The count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Painter gets him on 3 straight pitches.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for number 13.
First strikeout tonight for Chris Painter. Rather second. He got Dominic Diana to end the first inning. Brandon Nelson steps in with 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Count 0-1. Hit to the right side. Big bounce for Valenzuela Reese on the run. He fires to first. And he gets the out. Nice track by Clay Valenzuela Reese, who got a friendly bounce on the turf. Up high to about his belt, and he fired to first from about 20 feet away, give or take a couple steps. 2 outs for Dominic Diana to step in.
32, Dominic Diana.
First pitch to Diana is in there for a strike. The 0-1 from the left-hander Painter. Paints the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 is downstairs. 1-2. The 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Cavs are ahead 108-107 with 4 minutes played in the fourth quarter tonight. Golden State.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Diana. Painter gets him to nibble on the outside part of the plate, and he catches it off the outside of the top of the bat, fouling it away. And the count is 2-2. Diana hits it hard and high to left field, but Johnny De La Cruz is there for the out. 3 up, 3 down for the Yuba City Bears in the bottom of the fifth. Chris Painter settling in nicely. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com.
back to baseball.
Top of the 6th inning here in Marysville, California. Brian Schnee with you here on MedfordRogues.com. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. Great to have you along with us. It's a 6-0 lead for Medford. And last night the Rogues got a convincing win as well, looking to right the ship in the right direction this part of the season. Clay Valenzuela-Reese steps in and sees the first pitch for a strike. Clay has 2 singles tonight, also flew out to center in the 2nd inning. First pitch to Valenzuela-Reese is a strike. He swings at the second one, lifted to right field. Nice tracking by Blake Rose on the run to make the catch in shallow right center. Dante Gutierrez will step in. Dante is due here. He had a single in the 2nd, but was caught on a throw out by the center fielder to finish the inning. He got doubled up on one that was in shallow center and was just a little bit too far down the base path. He walked in the 4th, struck out in the 1st. Purcell from the stretch goes to Gutierrez, and it's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Gutierrez sees it downstairs. Count is 2-0. Count 2-0. Over the heart of the plate for a strike. The count is 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Gutierrez looks at that one off the plate. Count 3-2. Ben Purcell has Dante Gutierrez at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Painter has been really good on the other side. 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And Gutierrez walks with 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting for the Medford Rogue, number 2, left fielder Johnny De La Cruz.
This brings up Johnny De La Cruz, runner over at first. De La Cruz walked in the 1st inning, came around to score, has flown out to center and right since. Swings at the first pitch and lifts it to center field. Jarrell Canones makes the catch for out number 2. Connor Lowry steps in. Still waiting for that big swing from Connor Lowry. We know he's got it in the back pocket, just waiting to pull it out and see where he can send one. Lowry has had a couple big games this season for the Rogues. He's got Gutierrez at first with 2 outs. Purcell from the stretch goes to the plate. Called strike. Top of the 6th inning, 8 hits for the Rogues, 5 for Yuba City. It's 6-0 Medford. Purcell comes to his set and goes to the plate. Lowry fouls it away into the stands. Count is no balls, 2 strikes. Mary's Barbecue, tender, juicy, slow-smoked meat, homemade sides, and friendly service, and it's easy for anyone in Southern Oregon to get to. Mary's Barbecue is at 841 East Pine Street in Central Point. Follow on Facebook or their website, marysbbqplace.com. Lowry has the count at no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Purcell goes to the plate. Inside, 1-2. Gutierrez is off, and no one is over there to cover second. Dante Gutierrez with a stolen base. Count is 1-2. The 1-2. Lowry hits one sky high to mid-center. Canones is there to make the catch, and they strand one on the bags. Put a 6-0 lead for the Medford Rogues as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
back here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Chris Painter's first pitch is hit to shallow left center field by Logan Worm. The shortstop, Scotty Wright, is there to make the catch for out number 1. This will bring up Josh Winkler.
now batting for the Bears, number 8, shortstop, Josh
Winkler 0 for 2, a fly out to center and a ground out to the third baseman, Davis DeLorfis. First pitch at the belt, called a strike. Count 0-1. Here's the 0-1 on the way. Hit into the Rogues dugout, or maybe just over it. My goodness, that was a heater. And there's some fans down behind the dugout with a glove in their hand saying, he couldn't hit that any more perfect, but it wasn't exactly a fair play. Count is 1-2 to Josh Winkler. Here's the 1-2. Painter gets it up and out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. One out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Painter goes to the plate. Hit over to the shortstop, Scotty Wright. Friendly bounce, fired to first, easy play. Couple scores for you from around the league. Marysville on top of Portland, 2-0 in the top of the 5th. And Chico on top of Lincoln, 3-2 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Your hands, stop your feet for Eric Cortez.
Eric Cortez comes in. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And Painter sends the first one up and away, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 from Painter. Hit over to the left side. DeLorfis scoops it up, fires to first. 3 up and 3 down for the Medford Rogues in the bottom of the 6th. We will take you to the top of the 7th inning, where you will be rejoined by Jonathan Kerman for the remainder of the ball game as the Rogues lead 6-0. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, live on MedfordRogues.com.
Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. 6-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. I am Jonathan Kerman. Thanks so much to Brian Schnee for holding down the fort for me in those middle innings. At the plate is Jake Helwig for the Medford Rogues. Jake Helwig fouls that first pitch off the first base side, and the count is 0-1. Top of the 7th, 6-run game. Second pitch to Helwig. He hits a shot down the right field line, but it is right at the right fielder, Blake Rose, to make the catch. That ball was smoked. But it's an out, and so we have one down here in the top of the 7th.
The lucky number is 28397. Once again, 28397. If you have that number, please go to the Leninger Injury Lawyer.
So stepping in now for the Rogues.
Now batting for the Medford Road, number 24, catcher
Number 24, Alex Isola. First pitch to Isola is ground on the first base side. Fouled. Count is 0-1. 1 out, top of the 7th. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Rogues. 0 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the Yuba City Bears. I'd like to thank Solitary Man 1971 for keeping us updated on the NBA final score. I know you can't turn away from this sweet GWL action, but we do appreciate the cross coverage. Isola hits another ball down the first base line that ends up in the Rogues dugout, or the bullpen rather, excuse me, it's a foul ball.
113 to 108.
Count is 0-2 to Isola here in the top of the 7th. 6-0 Rogues. Ben Purcell still on the mound for the Bears. Next pitch, Isola smacks that to right field, but, oh my goodness. Blake Rose was there, but he dropped it. That's going to go as an error. That's a play that you have to make. Blake Rose misread it. He ranged to his right and should have taken a couple steps in. The ball sunk on him. He misread it and tried to make a backhanded catch, bending down almost in a crouch, and couldn't come up with the play. So Isola reaches on an error, and that brings up the first baseman, Jake Gazzo. Jake Gazzo scored back in the 5th inning. First pitch, he smacks that one down the left field line. That ball is just foul. So no balls and 1 strikes to Jake Gazzo. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. 6-run game here in Marysville. Sun is just about set. The lights are on here at Calusa Casino Stadium on a wacky Wednesday. $2 Pabst beers and $2 hot dogs at Calusa Casino. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Gazzo. No balls and 1 strike. Excuse me, 1 ball, 1 strike to Jake Gazzo. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Jake Gazzo smokes one right at the third baseman, Trey Yukamoto, who cannot handle it, gets past him and sails into left field for a single. So, Alex Isola now at second, Jake Gazzo at first on the single, and that brings up the third baseman, Davis DeLorfis. DeLorfis 0 for 1. Walked twice, and it looks like that's going to be end of the night for Ben Purcell. We'll have a pitching change here for the Yuba City Bears. We'll get you the name of that new pitcher right after this. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com. Brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Pitching change for the Yuba City Bears, the second one of the game. Ben Purcell is out. Pitched 6 solid innings, giving up just 2 runs. He's relieved by the right-hander Brian Bugarin. First batter for Bugarin is Davis DeLorfis, with Alex Isola on second and Jake Helwig at first. That first pitch is inside for a ball, 0-1. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning, 6-0 in favor of your Medford Rogues. Here's the pitch to DeLorfis. That one is outside, ball 2. Ben Purcell has a bit of a submarine delivery. You don't see that every day. Bugarin set, fires to DeLorfis. That one's high, ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes to Davis DeLorfis with runners at first and second. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Pitch to DeLorfis is in there for a strike. DeLorfis was taking all the way. And the count 1-2-3-1. Isola at first, Isola at second, Gazzo at first. Here's the pitch to DeLorfis. That is high and outside, and that will move everyone up 90 feet. So the bases are juiced for the shortstop, Scotty Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen, this inning only because it's closing in the 8th inning.
So Brian Bugarin comes in, walks DeLorfis with 2 on, and the bases are now juiced with just 1 out. Great opportunity for the Rogues to really blow this open. As we've seen here in Marysville, no lead is safe. I'd like to thank Brian Schnee for handling the middle innings and for being a mentor to me. I wouldn't be here without him. First pitch to Scotty Wright, popped up high in the infield. Shortstop Josh Winkler's there, calling for it, makes the catch. So Scotty Wright fails to move the runner over, and we now have 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Bases loaded. Clay Valenzuela-Reese coming up.
Now batting for the Medford Rogues, number 13, second baseman Clay Valenzuela-Reese.
Valenzuela-Reese 2 for 3 on the day. Led the game off with a single and would come around to score. One of the 4 runs in the first inning. First pitch to Clay Valenzuela-Reese is outside, ball 1. Catcher Cody Kitagawa had to slide over about 1.5 feet to catch that one. Dante Gutierrez on deck. Should Clay Valenzuela-Reese keep the inning alive? Here's the pitch. Down and in, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Bases juiced here in the top of the 7th. 6-run game. Next pitch is a ball. So now it's 3-0. And it feels like deja vu. The Rogues are 1 ball away from walking in a run. That one catches the outside corner, says the home plate umpire, for a strike. 3-1, the count to Clay Valenzuela-Reese. 2 outs, bases juiced here in the top of the 7th. The pitch, high and outside, and another run is walked home by the Bears. So Alex Isola scores. It's an unearned run because of the error charged to Blake Rose out in right field. But the run counts. And up to bat now is Dante Gutierrez. Bases still juiced here in the top of the 7th.
Now batting for the Rogue, number 20, designated hitter Dante Gutierrez.
Bugarin sets, fires, and it plunks him. So the merry-go-round, the carousel continues. Everyone moves up 90 more feet. Jake Gazzo comes in to score. So 2 runs come across for the Rogues without swinging the bat.
Now batting for the Rogue, number 2, left fielder Johnny De La Cruz.
So Gutierrez hit by the pitch. Jake Gazzo, who singled in this inning, comes around to score. Delorfus at third, Clay Valenzuela-Reese at first. First pitch is a ball that gets by the catcher, but runners are not moving. So 1-0 the count to Johnny De La Cruz. Bugarin fires, and that pitch is high and outside, ball 2. And boy, the Bears pitchers are just having difficulty finding the strike zone. You can see the frustration on their faces. Here's the pitch from Bugarin, way inside, ball 3. Stop me if you've heard this before. 3-0 count, bases loaded for the Rogues. They are 1 ball away from walking in a run. Here's the pitch from Bugarin. Called strike on the inside corner. 3-1. Delorfus at third. Clay Valenzuela-Reese at second. Dante Gutierrez at first. Johnny De La Cruz at the dish. 3-1 count. Here it is. Called strike. Johnny De La Cruz was walking to first. Home plate umpire calls him back. And the count runs full. So the runners will be off here. Here's the pitch to De La Cruz, and that one's in the dirt for ball 4. And everyone moves up 90 feet. So the score is now 9-0. Excuse me, 6. I apologize. Had some funky math there. That's going to do it for Bugarin. He gets pulled. We have a pitching change here in Marysville. We will be right back after a quick music break. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home experts. I am Jonathan Kerman. We'll be back right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget.
You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Pitching change for the Yuba City Bears. Right-hander Tyler Minton is on the hill. Had a little bit of confusion on the front half of that break as to the score. It is 9-0. Had to rub my eyes, make sure I was seeing clearly, but it is in fact 9 runs on 8 hits for the Rogues. No errors, which is just great to see. I think they only had 1 last night. And after a sloppy series against the Heat, it is great to see the defense finally coming around.
Back to baseball. Batting for the Rogues, number 10 center fielder Connor Lowry.
So just to catch you up, Alex Isola reached on an error. Jake Gazzo singled, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 free bases allowed by the Yuba City Bears. Leads to 3 runs in the top of this inning. First pitch to Connor Lowry, who just stepped in, is inside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch, down and in, ball 2. Laura says we are getting it done with lots of help from the Yuba City pitchers, huh? That is correct, Laura. That is correct. Lots of free bases here tonight for the Rogues. The 2-0 pitch, high and inside, ball 3. Now, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but the Rogues have the bases loaded, 3-ball count. They are 1 ball away from walking in another one. Here's the pitch. A high strike called. Connor Lowry didn't like it, but in a 9-run game, there's not really much to complain about. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning, 9-0 in favor of the Medford Rogues. Tyler Minton on the mound. Just came in relief for for Brian Bugarin. Connor Lowry hits a slow grounder to the shortstop, Scotty Wright. Scotty Wright collects it, steps on the bag, gets the force out at second, and that ends the inning. So, 3 unearned runs come across for the Medford Rogues. We head to the home half of the 7th inning. Go ahead and stretch. You earned it. It is 9-0 in favor of your Medford Rogues. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back right after a quick stretch.
God bless.
Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball. You're listening live on MedfordRogues.com. I am Jonathan Gurman. This broadcast is brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. 9-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Chris Painter is pitching a gem. 6 innings pitched, no runs given up, 2 strikeouts, scattering just 4 hits. His first pitch to the leadoff man for the Yuba City Bears, Cody Kitagawa, in there for a strike, 0-1. Next pitch, just a little high. Counts even, 1-1. Painter sets, fires. Off-speed pitch settles in there for a strike. And just like Jordan Reagan last night, it seems like Chris Painter is getting better as the game is going on. And that's the mark of a real strong pitcher. Here's the 1-2. Fouled back over the press box. We'll do this again. Count 1-2. 9 runs on only 8 hits for the Rogues. Most of the runs coming in on batters hit by a pitch with bases loaded or walked with the bases loaded. Haven't had to do much. Chris Painter fires. That ball is high and outside. Count is even, 2-2. Painter takes a deep breath, gets the sign from Isola, pitches, swung on and missed, strike 3. Third strikeout for Chris Painter. Cody Kitagawa goes down swinging. And coming up next, the right fielder, Blake Rose.
Number 27, clap your hands, stop your feet, Blake Rose.
First pitch from Painter. Swung on, hit to the second baseman, Clay Valenzuela-Reese. It gets through him. It squeaks through Clay Valenzuela-Reese's legs. And that ball was hit slowly, at a snail's pace. And I don't know what happened, if there was a divot or something in the infield. But that ball just squeaked by Clay Valenzuela-Reese. Not hit hard at all, but it goes as an error on Clay Valenzuela-Reese. Not a whole lot you can do if the ball's taking crazy hops in the infield. So Blake Rose reaches on an error. And up to bat now is center fielder Jorel Quinones, who tries to lay down the bunt, but it goes foul. Count 0-1. No outs, top of the 7th inning, 9-0 in favor of your Rogues. Chris Painter pitching a beauty. 0-1 the count to the center fielder, Jorel Quinones. Painter checks the runner at first, fires, checks swing. Did he go around? No, says the home plate umpire. And the count's even at 1 apiece.
1-1 the count to Quinones.
Chris Painter set at the hip. Checks the runner at first, now fires to home plate. High strike. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jorel Quinones. Now looking up and down the roster for the Rogues, the only people who don't have an RBI are, surprisingly, Connor Lowry, Jake Gazzo, and Scotty Wright. Some of the most reliable hitters for the Rogues. Frankly, haven't had to do a lot of hitting up and down the lineup. It's been walks. Next pitch to Quinones is fouled back, so we'll do this again, 1-2. 2 walks for Dante Gutierrez, 2 walks for Johnny De La Cruz, 2 walks for Davis DeLorfis, and 1 apiece for Clay Valenzuela-Reese, Connor Lowry, Jake Helwig, and Jake Gazzo. Now, it's been a walk in the park, excuse my terrible pun, for the Rogues. Here's the pitch to Quinones. That is outside, ball 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the last call for beer and wine down in the concourse. It's your last call for alcohol.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody out here in the home half of the 7th here in Marysville. Here's the pitch from Painter. That is high. Full count now to Jorel Quinones.
Full count to Quinones.
Pitch black sky juxtaposing the bright outfield lights here at Calusa Casino Stadium. Comfortable night. Slight breeze, little humid, but overall very comfortable. That is ball 4 to Joel Quinones. And the Bears have runners at first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now batting for the Yuba City Bears, third baseman number 2, Trey.
So that turns the lineup over for Yuba City. Coming up to bat, the third baseman, Trey Yukamoto, and it looks like,
And come on, ladies and gentlemen, clap your hands.
well, it's
Stop
Christian
your feet,
Coronado
cheer
coming
real
out.
loud.
Talk
Let's
to
get
Chris
the
Painter,
Bears
see how he's
fired
doing.
up.
Alex Isola gets in on the action as well. So a quick mound visit. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on medfordrogues.com, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Quick conversation for Christian Coronado, the pitching coach, Alex Isola, the catcher, and quite frankly, today's player of the game so far, Chris Painter. 6 in the 3rd innings pitched of no run ball, scattering 5 hits, striking out 3. Top of the order for the Bears, Trey Yukamoto settling in, the right-hander. The left-hander Painter deals. That pitch is high for ball 1. A little bit of action in the Rogues bullpen. Looks like that's Ryan Carl getting stretched out. Here's the pitch from Painter. That ball is high as well. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 out, 1 on. Here in the home half of the 7th inning, 9-0 in favor of the Rogues. Chris Painter settles in at the hip, looks back at second. Now comes home. That pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2. Excuse me, 2-1. Blake Rose at second. Joel Quinones at first. Trey Yukamoto at the dish. Chris Painter fires. That ball is swung and hit foul down the third baseline. Counts even at 2 apiece.
Down is 2-2 to Yukamoto.
One out here in the home half of the 7th. All Rogues in this one. 9-0. Chris Painter still on the mound. Here's the pitch to Yukamoto. Swung on and fouled back. Count remains 2 apiece. So this is game 3 of a 4-game series here in Marysville against the Yuba City Bears. The Rogues will then travel to Lincoln to take on the Lincoln Potters, who are in first place in the Great West League. Here's the pitch from Chris Painter. 2-2 count. That ball is in the dirt, and it runs full. So a 3-game series in Lincoln. You will have Brian Schnee on the call for all 3 of those games. And then the Rogues come back on Tuesday, June 13th, and that kicks off an incredible week for you Rogues fans in the Rogue Valley. 3-2 the count to Trey Yukamoto. Chris Painter looks at second, comes back, fires, check swing by Yukamoto, hits his bat, goes foul. So we will do this again. So the Rogues come back on June 13th, which is a $2 Tuesday, courtesy of our friends at Ram Restaurant Brewery, and quite frankly, there is no better deal in the Rogue Valley. $2 bleacher tickets. Come watch the Rogues play. It's just that simple. Full count to Yukamoto. Here's the pitch from Chris Painter. That ball is hit well down the right field line, just foul. That could have been trouble. The right fielder, Jake Helwig, was shaded over to center. That could have been trouble. But the ball rolls foul. Everyone goes back to their positions. We'll do this again. 3-2 the count, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. 9-0 Rogues. Chris Painter set. Takes a deep breath. Now comes home. And it hits him. May have hit him. Doesn't matter. It's a ball. Everyone moves up 90 feet. Bases are juiced for the left fielder, Brendan Nelson.
This rally for the Bears. Your hometown team. Now batting for the Bears, number 13 left fielder, Brendan Nelson.
So Brendan Nelson coming up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Blake Rose reached on an error. Then back-to-back walks given up to Jorel Quinones and Trey Yukamoto. Brendan Nelson, the left-handed hitter, up to the dish, so a lefty-lefty matchup here. Bases loaded to the bottom of the 7th. Here's the first pitch, and that's hit sharply up the middle. That is going to squeeze. Oh, my goodness. It's going to get through the glove of Scotty Wright. Oh, he had that one in his grasp. Just bobbled it. Everybody is safe. 1 run scores. Everyone moves up 90 feet. And that is the first blemish for Jordan Reagan. And I think that might be it for Chris Painter. Tough luck. It's 2 errors in the inning. 2 ground balls that really should have been converted. Now they say that no double play is guaranteed. But that should have been as close to guaranteed as it gets. Scotty Wright checking his gloves, seeing what the heck happened. But the run stands. It is an unearned run because of the error.
Bobby Wood.
And coming in now in relief for Chris Painter, number 11, Bobby Wood. So Chris Painter's night ends 6 1/3, scattering 4 hits, giving up 1 run unearned, striking out 3.
And ladies and gentlemen, we like to remind you to pay attention to the on-field
Bases are
action.
still juiced.
Foul balls are abundant and exit at a high velocity rate. If you need medical assistance at any time during
And it looks like they are going to rule that last at-bat for Brendan Nelson a hit. Scotty Wright was ranging over to his left, but that's a play you got to make as a shortstop.
It's not just baseball, it's just fun.
No matter how you score it, it's a run for the Yuba City Bears. And it's the end of the night for Chris Painter. Terrific, terrific performance. Back-to-back by Jordan Reagan and Chris Painter, 2 local Rogue Valley boys, representing Southern Oregon well here in Marysville.
Yuba City Bears take on the Marysville Gold Sox. Friday night is Calusa Casino night, where the first 500 fans receive broomsticks. And don't forget about
9 runs, 8 hits, 1 errors for the Rogues. 1 run, 5 hits, 3 errors for Yuba City. And the chance to tack on more. The 3-hitter, number 32, Dominic Diana, who's played in every single game for the Bears this season. Bases juiced. Jorel Quinones on 3rd, Trey Yukamoto at 2nd, Brendan Nelson at 1st, Dominic Diana up at the plate, and Bobby Wood in on relief for Chris Painter. First pitch from Bobby Wood is high, ball 1. One out here, bases juiced in the home half of the 7th. 1 run already across for the Bears, an unearned run. With a chance for more. Here's the pitch from Wood. Swung on, hit sharply up the middle, and that's going to get through. So there's 1 run scoring, and Connor Lowry bobbled the pickup, so 2 will score. And just like that, it is 9-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So a 2 RBI single for Dominic Diana.
Everybody can clap and stop your feet.
And there's a reason he's batting 3rd.
Cody Kittygawa birthday today from Yuba City Bears, number 7, your catcher tonight, Cody Kittygawa.
And that brings up the DH, Logan Worm.
Happy birthday.
Those 2 runs will be charged to Chris Painter, unfortunately.
Now batting for the Bears, number 15, designated hitter Logan Worm.
Chris Painter also responsible for Brendan Nelson on 2nd. Here's the first pitch to Logan Worm from Bobby Wood. That is high, ball 1. Nine runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Rogues. 3 runs, 2 hits, 3 errors for the Yuba City Bears. Bobby Wood checks the runner at second, now comes back to home. In the dirt, gets away from Isola, and that is going to advance the runners 90 feet. Everybody's safe. 1 out still in the bottom half of the 7th, so a terrific opportunity for the Yuba City Bears to tack on a few more. And I don't need to say it, so I won't. But a 9-run lead can evaporate like that. Logan Worm hits a foul ball. Count is 2-1. Runners at second and third, 1 out in the bottom half of the 7th. 3 across already for the Bears. Next pitch from Bobby Wood is high, so 3-1. Three and 1 the count to Logan Worm. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. I appreciate the good-natured ribbing I'm getting from those of you at home. You are absolutely right. There are some things in baseball that are better left unsaid. 3-2 the count. Swung on and missed. Bobby Wood strikes out Logan Worm. And we have 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 7th. Bases are still juiced, however, for the shortstop Josh Winkler, who made a fantastic play back in the 3rd inning. Josh Winkler, ranging to his left, made a diving catch. Glove flipped to the second baseman, Eric Cortez, who fired it over in time to get the double play. It was quite something. First pitch from Bobby Wood, off speed and outside, ball 1. So correction, the bases are not juiced, just runners on second and third. Here's the pitch from Wood. Swung on and missed. Looks like that ball hit the dirt but in front of the plate, but still got a swing from Logan Worm. Interesting. Brendan Nelson at third, Dominic Diana at second. They advanced on a wild pitch. So 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Wood. That one's in the dirt as well. Bounces away from my soul, but not far enough. The runners don't advance. Correction, 2 balls and 1 strikes now the count. Two outs here in the home half of the 7th. Chance for the Bears to tack on some more, but it is a 9-3 lead. Bobby Wood on the mound for the Rogues. Josh Winkler at the dish. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner for a strike. Great pitch by Wood. Great location. So the deuces are wild here in the bottom half of the 7th. 2 outs. 2 on. 2-2 the count. 2. Josh Winkler. Bobby Wood set. And deals. Swung on, hit softly into shallow right field. Second baseman Clay Valenzuela-Reese is there to make the catch. And Bobby Wood escapes the jam. 3 runs do come across, though, for the Yuba City Bears, but that's all. We head to the top of the 8th inning. 9-3 in favor of the Rogues. You are listening to Medford Rogues Baseball live on MedfordRogues.com. I'm Jonathan Kerman. We will be back right after this. welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call. This broadcast brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your home loan experts. Jake Helwig stepping in. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Here's the next pitch. Called strike. So the count is now 1 apiece. 1-1 to Jake Helwig. Top of the 8th inning, 9-3 Rogues. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Big cut by Jake Helwig. Tyler Minton still on the mound for the Yuba City Bears, the third pitcher of the game. Here's the pitch to Helwig. Just gets a piece of it, fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Jake Helwig. In correction, Tyler Minton is actually the 4th pitcher used by the Yuba City Bears tonight. Helwig waits. Minton gets the sign from Cody Kitagawa. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back off the third base side. We'll do this again. Hayden Horan started out this game for the Yuba City Bears. Went just 2 1/3 inning. 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 4 runs on 3 walks. Next pitch to Helwig is in the dirt. Counts even at 2 apiece. So lasted just 2/3 of an inning before getting pulled for Ben Purcell. 9-3, top of the 8th inning. 2-2 the count to Jake Helwig. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back again. So we will do it again. Nine runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Rogues. 3 runs, 2 hits, 3 errors for the Bears. Terrific pitching performance by Chris Painter. Here's the pitch to Helwig. Down and in. Ball 2. Full count now. Just getting started here in the top of the 8th inning. Here's the full count pitch to Jake Helwig. That is down and in for ball 4. And another walk given up by the Yuba City Bears pitching staff.
Now batting for the Rogues, number 24, catcher Alex Isola.
That is the 11th walk of the game given up by the Bears. I apologize for the pause. I had to count them all. Stepping in now to the batter's box is catcher Alex Isola. Isola is 1 for 3. Reached on an error, had a 2 RBI single back in the first, and came around to score in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Down and in, ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes to Alex Isola. Jake Helwig steps off the bag from first, watching Minton, standing, now pitches. And that pitch is smacked into center field. That's going to fall for a hit. Alex Isola has himself another single. And the Medford Rogues are in business. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. And coming up to bat, first baseman Jake Gazzo. Jake Gazzo reached on a fielder's choice in the first, walked and scored in the 5th, and had a single and came around to score again in the 7th. 2 on, nobody outs here for Jake Gazzo. Tyler Minton looks at the runner at second, now comes back home. First pitch in the dirt, gets by the catcher. He can't find it, and everyone moves up 90 feet. A lot of free bags given up by the Yuba City Bears tonight. I promise I'm watching this live. This isn't a tape delay that keeps getting rewinded to the same inning. Lots of walks, lots of wild pitches, lots of errors tonight for the Yuba City Bears. Not a pretty game by any stretch of the imagination. Here's the pitch to Gazzo. Big swing and a miss. Count is 2-1. So Jake Helwig at third, Alex Isola at second on the wild pitch. Not sure if they call that a wild pitch or a pass ball, but went to the backstop. Here's the pitch to Gazzo. Looks at a ball in the dirt. 3-1 now the count. 9-3 ball game here in the top of the 8th inning in Marysville. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. Jake Gazzo at the dish, 3-1 the count. The pitch from Minton is in the dirt. Oh, excuse me. I missaw that. That is a strike. Jumped the gun there a little bit. Full count now on Jake Gazzo. Runners at second and third. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. 9-3 game. Jake Gazzo at the dish. Here's the pitch from Minton. Way outside. Oh, I am all turned around here, folks. I am sorry about that. It is now a full count. Just making sure you're still listening. Runner at second and third. Full count to Jake Gazzo. Here's the pitch from Tyler Minton. And that one is outside for ball 4. So Gazzo walks. That is the 12th walk of the game given up by Yuba Bears pitching. And another long walk for Jeremy Gillum. He is certainly getting his steps in tonight, folks. Hope he's wearing his Fitbit.
Right now, top of the 7th inning, Gold Sox 3.
And he's going to take the ball from Tyler Minton. We are going to have the 4th pitching change of the night. We will have that new pitcher for you when we come back. Right after this, I'm Jonathan Kerman. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home experts, live on MedfordRogues.com. Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. So another pitching change for the Yuba City Bears. Pitching now for the Bears, number 44, right-hander Dalton Bishop. Up to bat now for the Rogues, third baseman Davis DeLorphis. DeLorphis walked 3 times tonight, scored once. 0 for 1 and a run in. 9-3 here in the top of the 8th inning. Runners are all aboard for the Rogues. First pitch swinging for DeLorphis hits it foul. Count is 0-1. Dalton Bishop sets, fires. Next pitch to DeLorphis is in there for a strike. Quickly ahead of DeLorphis, 0-2. Jake Helwig at third, Alex Isola at second, Jake Gazzo at first. 2 more free passes issued by the Yuba City Bears in this inning. Here's a pitch from Bishop. That one is high and way inside. DeLorphis had to turn cheek. Gets out of the way, though. Count is 1-2. Here's the pitch from Bishop. Swung on, hit to the second baseman, Eric Cortez. Cortez fires it over to the shortstop, Winkler, who fires it over to first. Not in time, though, and a run will score. So that is an RBI fielder's choice for Davis DeLorfis. Jake Helwig comes home after the free pass he was issued in the top half, or in the top of this inning, excuse me. Another run tacks on for the Rogues. They are in double digits. Alex Isola moves over to third. Jake Gazzo cut down. Scotty Wright, the shortstop for the Rogues at the dish, looks at a first pitch ball. Count is 1-0. I'd like to thank all of you joining us today and for joining us all season. Brian and I have been overwhelmed by the support and the viewership that we've received. It's been incredible. Scotty Wright hits a ball through the left side of the infield. That is going to score Alex Isola. So another run comes home for the Rogues. Scotty Wright has himself an RBI. The score is now 11-3. So Alex Isola scores. DeLorfis over to second. Scotty Wright aboard at first with the RBI single. That turns the lineup over. Clay Valenzuela-Reese, who got all of this started back in the top of the first inning with a single, then come around to score. And Valenzuela-Reese hits one softly, caught by the second baseman on a leaping catch. Great play by Eric Cortez to retire Clay Valenzuela-Reese. DeLorfis didn't get far off the bag, back in time. So 2 outs now in the top of the 8th inning, 11-3 Rogues. And Dante Gutierrez stepping up to the dish. Gutierrez has walked twice, hit by a pitch, and has a single. Dalton Bishop sets, fires. That first pitch is high and outside. Ball 1. Want to know the count to Dante Gutierrez. Pitch swung on, hit, caught by the pitcher Dalton Bishop on a bounce. Calmly fires it over to the first baseman Dominic Diana to get Gutierrez, but 2 more runs come across. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. 11-3 Medford Rogues. I'm Jonathan Kerman. You are listening to the Medford Rogues live stream on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. We'll be back right after this.
And we want to see every one of you doing the YMCA.
Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. I'm Jonathan Kerman on the call for Brian Schnee. Bobby Wood staying in the game in relief of Chris Painter, who pitched a great one tonight. ended up giving up 3 runs. That all came in the 7th. First pitch swinging by Eric Cortez, the second baseman for the Bears, and that is a easy routine fly ball for the left fielder, Johnny De La Cruz. So, just like that, we have one down here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, 11-3 in favor of the Medford Rogues. And coming up now is the catcher, Cody Kitagawa. Here's a pitch from Bobby Wood. Swung on, and that one's hit sharply to the shortstop, right to the shortstop, Scotty Wright, who makes the play. Didn't have to pick up his feet, hit right at him. So, 2 pitches, 2 outs for Bobby Wood.
Now batting for the Yuba City Bears, number 27, right fielder, Blake Rose.
And so that brings up the right fielder, Blake Rose. Here's the first pitch from Bobby Wood. Swung on and missed. Count is 0-1. Here's the 4th pitch of the inning for Bobby Wood. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Swung on, and that one's hit sharply right at the shortstop, Scotty Wright. So, 4 pitches, 3 outs for Bobby Wood. Doesn't get much easier than that. Just like that, I feel like we just came back, but we will head to the top of the 9th inning. Your Rogues ahead on top of the Yuba City Bears, 11-3 here at Calusa Casino Stadium. I'm Jonathan Kerman. You are listening to the Medford Rogues live stream live on MedfordRogues.com, presented by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your home loan experts. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Evergreen Home Loans and Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. If you went to the restroom, if you went to get a glass of water, if you blinked, you would have missed the home half of the 8th. Bobby Wood retired all 3 Bears on 4 pitches. So the Rogues are back up to bat, and it's the heart of the order for the Medford Rogues. 3-4-5, starting off with left fielder Johnny De La Cruz. Dalton Bishop still on the mound for the Bears. First pitch to De La Cruz is in there for a strike, 0-1. 11-3 Rogues here in the top of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Cruz takes it. De La Cruz takes it. 1 ball and 1 strike. 11 runs on only 9 hits for the Rogues tonight. Similar to last night's 9 as well. The pitch to De La Cruz, he hits it to the second baseman Cortez. Routine grounder, fires it over to first base in time to retire De La Cruz. 1 out in the top of the 9th.
Now batting for the Rogues, number 10, center fielder Connor Lowry.
Coming up now is Connor Lowry. Lowry walked in the first inning and scored. That first pitch to Connor Lowry is outside, ball 1. Wind really coming in from center field now. Next pitch to Lowry is inside, ball 2. Flags out in center field are blowing straight at us. Here's the pitch from Dalton Bishop. High hit pop-up into shallow left field. It's going to be the left fielder, Brendan Nelson, who makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Brendan Nelson.
So Connor Lowry flies out, and that brings up Jake Helwig.
Now batting for the Rogue, number 27, right fielder Jake Helwig.
Jake Helwig had an RBI walk in the first inning, a single, a double, and scored in the 5th, and walked in the 8th. And he gets a hold of that one, hits it high in the air, but it's very shallow. That's going to be the second baseman, Eric Cortez. He hit that one a mile high. Cortez comes down with it. And I think that was a four-pitch inning for the Bears pitcher, Dalton Bishop. Some very quick baseball going on right now. We're heading to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Your Rogues are up 11-3 over the Yuba City Bears. I'm Jonathan Kerman. You're listening to Medford Rogues Baseball, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball. I appreciate you all sticking around with us through this one. 11-3, your Rogues on top, and they are 3 outs away from coming away with a win and taking a 2-1 series lead over the Yuba City Bears.
Bottom of the 9th inning.
It is 10 minutes to 10 here at Calusa Casino Stadium. I want to thank all of you for sticking around and enjoying this baseball game with us. I've certainly enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Still pitching for the Medford Rogues is Bobby Wood. He'll start off by facing the center fielder, Joel Quinones, who lays down a bunt. Lays down a great one. Bobby Wood picks it up, fires over to first. It is wide. Pulls Jake Gazzo off the bag. And Joel Quinones is aboard with a leadoff bunt. That's not something you would always see. Surprising, certainly, in a 8-run game, but always got to be ready. Doesn't matter what the score is. So Jarrell Quinones gets aboard on the leadoff bunt. That turns the lineup over for the Bears. Trey Yukamoto, the leadoff hitter, is at the dish. Leadoff runner on here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bobby Wood pitching. His first pitch is high and outside, ball 1. Looked like he overthrew that one. 11 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Rogues. 3 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors for the Bears. Here's the pitch from Bobby Wood. Down in the dirt, ball 2. So I want to thank all of you for sticking around with us. It's been a lot of fun. It really has. I feel so much more comfortable on the mic than I was the last couple games. I think you all noticed that. Yukamoto taking the 2-ball no-strike count for a strike. Count is now 2-1. And again, I want to appreciate all the support, the views, the interaction on the chat. It has just been incredible. Here's the pitch. Quinones goes for second. Gets in there safely. So Jorel Quinones has stolen second. So runner in scoring position for the Yuba City Bears.
3-1 to Yukamoto.
3-1 the count to Trey Yukamoto. Bobby Wood pitching. 11-3 game here in the bottom half of the ninth. Here's the pitch from Bobby. That is a called strike to run the count full.
Count is full to Yukamoto.
I want to thank you, James, especially staying up almost midnight over there in Texas. Keeping you up with some Rogues baseball. Love it. Bobby Wood set at the hip. Here's the pitch to Yukamoto. Swung on. That is hit through the right side of the field. Quinones is gunning for home. Whoa, Jake Helwig threw that one. It would have landed in the fourth row if not for the screen. Jake Helwig threw that one a mile. He was maybe 4 or 5 steps from the infield dirt. Did not need to put so much on it. He airmailed that one. That one was headed back to Medford. So the run scores off the leadoff bunt by Jorel Quinones, who then stole a base. Comes around to score on the RBI single from Trey Yukamoto. 11-4 now.
Left fielder number 13,
And on the throw, Trey Yukamoto advances to second. So the runner still in scoring position for the Bears. Brandon Nelson at the dish. First pitch is on the black for a strike. 0-1. Here's the pitch to Brandon Nelson. Swung on and missed. Great off-speed pitch from Bobby White. That was filthy.
0-2 to Nelson.
0-2 the count to Brendan Nelson. Trey Yukamoto at second. Here's the pitch. That one is hitting to right field. Helwig giving chase. Not going to get there. Helwig this time the throw is on line. Trey Yukamoto wisely held up at third. So runners at the corners now for the Bears. Still nobody out here in the bottom half of the ninth.
Now batting for the Bears, first baseman number 32, Dominic Diana.
No action yet in the Rogues bullpen. Now up for the Bears, Dominic Diana. So a little bit of drama here in the ninth inning. Not so routine as the last 2 half innings were. I think 8 pitches between an inning and a half. It was something else. First pitch, Diana is in there for a strike. 0-1. Trey Yukamoto at third. Brendan Nelson at first. That pitch is low. It counts even 1 apiece. Next pitch by Bobby Wood is outside for ball 2. So 2-1 now the count. Bottom of the ninth inning. Nobody out. Runners on the corners for the Yuba City Bears, but the Rogues are ahead 11-4. Bobby Wood fires. That pitch is in there for a strike. Counts even 2-2. Dominic Diana at the dish. Had a 2 RBI single in the 7th inning. Bobby Wood now steps off the rubber. Takes a moment to collect himself. Runners at the corners for the Bears. 11-4 Rogues trying to close this one out. Wood set. Checks the runner at third. Now comes home. Swung on. That's hit to the right side. Second baseman Valenzuela-Reese tries to fire it over to short. Or to the second base. It gets away. Everyone moves up 90 feet. Not a wise decision by Clay Valenzuela-Reese. That was a routine out at first if he had just made the play, but tried to get a little fancy, throw it back to second. Had to do a 360 turn to make that play. Would have been so much easier to go to first, but hindsight's 20/20. Everybody is safe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
On the
put your
error,
hands together,
Dominic
stop the
Diana
feet.
moves up
Let's get loud up
to
in here.
second.
Number 15,
Brendan Nelson to third.
designated hitter Logan Worm.
And that's going to be an error on Clay Valenzuela-Reese, his second of the game.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're calling it a rally.
Bobby Wood still on the mound. Logan Worm at the dish. Runners at second and third for the Bears. Nobody out. Here's the pitch from Wood. That one's hit sky high. Back over the press box. Thud. Ball one. So Logan Worm at the dish. Dominic Diana at second. Brendan Nelson at third on a throwing error from Clay Valenzuela-Reese. Tried to get the force out at second instead of just hopping it over to first. Here's the pitch from Wood. That ball is hit sharply foul. Count is 0-2.
The fans would like to remind you that foul balls are abundant and they exit at a high velocity. So please pay attention to the game on the field.
No balls and 2 strikes to Logan Worm, the DH of the Bears. Runners in scoring position here, no outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch from Bobby Wood. Curveball in there, strike 3 called. What a great pitch. Curveball just dropped right into the zone. And there's an out on the board for the Rogues.
Now batting for the Bears, number 8, shortstop, Josh Winkler.
So Logan Worm caught looking on a great pitch from Bobby Wood. Stepping in now is Josh Winkler, who made a terrific play back in the 3rd inning on the defensive side. Here's the first pitch from Bobby Wood. Another curveball that falls into the zone. Strike 1. That is a nasty, nasty pitch. The runners on first and second. Josh Winkler made a diving play to his right, to his left. Gloved it to the second baseman, who's covering the bag. Second pitch by Bobby Wood. Again a curveball and again a strike. Josh Winkler looking all the way. Winkler glove flipped the ball to the second baseman, Eric Cortez, who stepped on the bag and fired it over to Dominic Diana in the first to turn a fantastic double play. Here's the pitch from Wood. Just barely got a piece of it. Is Josh Winkler. The count stays 0-2. Was a terrific play at the time. It may not matter much in the box score, but it was a fantastic play, and quite frankly, one of the few excellent plays for the Bears. There have been a lot of routine plays that they just didn't make, and they will be kicking themselves over it tonight, I'm sure. No balls, 2 strikes to to Josh Winkler. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Checks his swing. Did he go? No, says the field ump. Checked his swing. So Winkler is alive. Count is 1-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, checking the scores across the league. Top of the 9th in Chico over Lincoln, 9-5. And then Portland currently top of the 9th. Gold Sox 9, Portland Pickles 5.
11-5 game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bears putting up a little bit of a protest. 2 runs have already come across. They have runners at second and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Bobby Wood. That is just outside. The count runs even 2-0. And the sprinklers have come on here at Calusa Casino Stadium. We're getting wet and wild here on a wacky Wednesday at Calusa Casino Stadium. Right at 10 o'clock. So you can blame the Yuba City Bears for this one. They decided to put up a fight in the bottom of the 9th inning. Wanted to go on a mini rally, and my goodness, this is a sight. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I think I'm going to go run to the sprinklers. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Medford Rogues live stream, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group, your local home loan experts. I'm Jonathan Kerman. We'll be back right after this. welcome back to Medford Rogues Baseball, live on MedfordRogues.com, brought to you by Mike Newman and the Newman Group. Thank you for sticking around with us. The outfield grass has been sufficiently watered here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. As soon as the clock struck 10, those sprinkler heads came up and started dousing Connor Lowry, Johnny De La Cruz, and Jake Helwig. So they won't need a shower tonight. They already got one, but we still have some baseball left to play. 1 out, 2 on. Runners at second and third for the Bears in an 11-5 game. Bobby Wood still on the mound. Here's the pitch. And he hits that one sharply to right field. Jake Helwig is there, makes the catch. And, oh my goodness. So Jake Helwig makes the catch. It's that Dominic Diana, I believe, down there at third. No, Brendan Nelson, excuse me. Brendan Nelson ran on the hit, but it was caught by Jake Helwig. Brendan Nelson was 2 steps from home plate before he had to retreat back to third base. He gets back in time, so the inning continues. 2 out now, though, in the bottom of the ninth. That was strange. First pitch to Eric Cortez, who just stepped into the batter's box, is a ball. Count is 1-0. So Winkler flies out to Jake Helwig for the second out of the inning. Brendan Nelson was ready to come home, let me tell you. He was 2 steps from home plate, had to scamper back all the way up the line from third, excuse me. Cortez hits it well out to center field. Connor Lowry ranges over to his right, makes the catch, and that is the ball game. So, the Medford Rogues take a 2-1 series lead here in Marysville over the Yuba City Bears. 11-5 in this one. 11 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Rogues. 5 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for the Yuba City Bears. We will be back tomorrow for the final game of this 4-game series here at Calusa Casino Stadium. First pitch at 7:05, pregame show at 6:55. Thank you all so much for joining us. I am Jonathan Kerman. Again, your final score tonight, Medford Rogues 11, Yuba City Bears 5. You have been listening to the Medford Rogues live stream, brought to you by Michael Newman and the Newman Group. For Brian Schnee, I'm Jonathan Kerman. We'll see you tomorrow.